So, from the last lecture, we talked about the what we have here, radio button that allow users to be able to select one option from several. So, if you can see very well, if you pass the last challenge, you should be here. And so, what we have right now is this. So, let me just separate them out in a way that we can actually see the code better. So I think this is fine. So I will separate this and then separate this. Good. So we have the label, and we should you see a new attribute here called for. So this just tells us that this label is for indoor. So we have an ID. We have talked about ID before. Like ID is a unique variable or name for its particular element. So you can use indoor in any other element again if you use it once. So that's why it's unique to indoor. This is unique to outdoor, and that's how that works. But one thing that is common to both of them is the indoor outdoor, which tie them together. Like, okay, this thing are the same thing. You can only select one of them. You're indoor or you're outdoor. So, and that's how that work. So the label for is just like telling you that okay, this particular label is for this element. So just a way to like semantically see the way things work together. This label here is for these inputs right here. So, and that is it. And this label here also is for these inputs. So I think that makes a lot more sense. So, and there's another new element you see here, which is break. So break, what it does is just like for you to have like a line break between two elements. So now we have a line break after there's like they just flow on there. Like if I had one more break here, for instance, so you can see the space between uh, the type and this have been separated. So you just give more space between the input button and the radio button. So let's just do with one. That will be fine. So let's just use two. I think that separation is good, but don't worry, it's going to be reset anyway. So just for learning purpose. So the next thing we want to do now is checkbox. How do you give users to be able to have multiple options? Now we can select one option. So how do we do for multiple options? So it's the same thing actually. So we have a label, then we close the label tag. See, and in the label we could have an input for an input type tag. So let's say personality of a cat. So what kind of personality your cat has? Then what we want to see type. So we have type, and we can say type is for checkbox. Spell that wrong. So and that's it. So that's the checkbox we created now. So we can click this checkbox. One thing about checkbox is that you can pick as many as possible. So which is totally cool. So we can copy this then and have another checkbox here for, let's say, maybe you have color or something like that. Then remember we have this break for line breaks. So that's good. Let's add one more of clarity so we can separate them out so we can see that. So what else do you think we can do? So we can have an ID uh, for it. So for personality, so and also the name of this thing to make it unique. So what we're going to use the ID for is actually pick it up here. We can say this label is for the ID personality. Can I spell perso personality? Spelling it hard. Okay, I get that right. So that is it. So you can apply the same thing to all these ones. So I won't bore you up with that. It's just practice with this and see how these things work together and try and solve uh, this challenge here, and you'll be able to practice more. If you need help, just go over here and everything will work fine. So see you in the next lesson.